Hi everyone, I trust you're doing well today. Well, my name is Martin from Finance Oracle, and I'm here again today to share with you beautiful information that will help you to achieve your migration dream. So, if you are planning to migrate to a country like Australia, then this video is for you. Today, I'll be taking you on General Skate Visa, which is Visa 189, the Skate Independent Visa. And I would like you to pay attention so that take you through this program. Well, today I'm going to be doing a crash course on Visa 189. So it's a course that you need to pay more attention on because it's a bit lengthy and it has some complexities, which I'll be explaining to make it very clear today. A lot of people don't like going through these visas because it's quite complicated and they find it difficult to explain it, but I'll do my best to explain it in a way you understand and tell you the step-by-step process, the guide on how you can apply for this visa, how you can calculate your points, and every other thing you need to know about this visa from beginning to the end. So guys, it is going to pay a lot if you have to pay attention and listen to this. And if while listening to this you have any question, please write it in the comment section on my YouTube channel, or you can also tell me any topic you want me to discuss after now if you need a connected topic to this that may help you to achieve your dreams. So guys, it is time for us to go through this. Try to make a note, try to put down some points, and do not forget to ask questions anytime you feel like you're confused, and I'll do my best to answer it. Like I said earlier on, Visa 189 is a skilled independent visa and is a permanent residence visa. So which means once you're granted in Australia, you can search for a job and work in Australia permanently, independently, permanently without requiring to exit or to renew your visa. And if you stay in Australia and you meet up with the citizen requirement, you can apply for citizenship. Okay, and the cost for this visa is 4,200 Australian dollars. And you do not need to pay this at the point of filling out the form, the expression of interest form. But after launching the expression of interest and you get an invitation to apply, at that point you need to pay for this visa fee. For this visa category, you can apply to come with your dependent, your family members, your children, and your wife, or your husband and your children if you get this visa. So remember, this is a point-based visa. So because it's a point-based visa, you also need to meet requirement for this occupation. Okay, I'm going to teach you how to calculate your points to see if you meet the requirement, but the minimum requirement is 65 points. Okay, and apart from that, you must be eligible for an eligible skill occupation, which is in the occupation list. So if your occupation is not in the occupation list, you will not be able to apply. And again, if your occupation is the occupation list and you didn't meet the criteria, let's say they need a 4 years degree and you have just a diploma in mechanical engineering, you will not be able to meet the requirements. So those are things you need to know. So let's go deeply into requirement for expression of interest. Number one, you need to be below 45 years of age as at the time when you are invited, which means it is better to apply before you hit 44, so when you're invited, you will still be below 45 years of age. Then you also need to be aware that the optimum age for this point is 25 to 33 years of age. They are going to claim 20 points for age. But if you are below 25, you're going to get about 10 points, and if you are above 33, you're going to get 10 points, and if you're above about 40 and above, you're going to get 5 points for age. So, but then somehow these cancel each other, because if you're older, then it is assumed that you should have higher work experience compared to someone who is younger. Okay, someone below 25 may have 3 years work experience, and someone who is 40 may have 12 or 15 years work experience. But anyway, the maximum that counts is 8 years work experience, and within the past 10 years. So it means that if you have 40 years, you should have at least 8 years work experience, and you should be able to claim the maximum for work experience. But then there are criteria you must meet to claim the work experience. It must be a full-time job of at least 20 hours in a week. Then you'll be able to claim points for work experience. Yeah, minimum English requirement is computed English of IELTS 6 band, okay, and PTA 50. But then you should understand that why this will allow you to apply and this will allow you to get some points, this is not sufficient enough because a lot of people have beyond the competent English, and they have superior English, which is about 8 band, which can give them higher score. So it is important for you to try as much as possible to have at least a good score that will help you to get the maximum score, or at least intermediate score in English language or in language proficiency. Yeah, the next thing you need to be aware is that you also need to claim points for overseas work experience. So if you have a degree in Nigeria and you started working in the field which your degree is, I mean in related field, so I'm a mechanical engineer, I studied mechanical engineering, and I started working as a mechanical engineer or a service engineer or a maintenance engineer, which is still related to mechanical engineering, then I'm able to claim points for it. Okay, but then your professor must also be in the eligible list for you to claim these points. Okay, yeah, the next thing is work experience in Australia. If you've worked in Australia for at least 1 year, you can claim a point. If you also have an education in Australia, you can claim a point. But then education in Australia means that you must have at least 92 calendar weeks or 16 calendar months for you to be eligible to claim a point in Australia. So if you have less than 16 calendar months or 92 calendar weeks, then you will not be able to claim a point for your education, for your study in Australia. Another important thing is professional year in Australia. This is a bit tricky. Well, if you should understand that from the day which you attend professional year in Australia, okay, that it will expire after 48 months from the day you enrolled. So whether you enroll in professional year in Australia in accounting and engineering or whatever other profession, you have only 48 months for you to use it, after which it will not count for you. But if you do, then you can claim a point for professional year in Australia. Another one is translation course. You can claim up to 5 points for translation course. I know this certificate expires 3 years, but if you just completed it, from 9th August 2023, it expires after 5 years. So you can also claim 5 points for this if you have a translation certificate. And if you study in a region and you also meet the education requirement for Australia, which is 92 calendar weeks and 16 calendar months, then you get additional 5 score for studying in a regional area. Okay, yeah, so you can get 10 points for being single. So if you're single and you're applying, you can get 10 points. But don't say you're single when you have a family, because you will not be able to bring them. Okay, so if you have a family, say you have a family. If you're single, of course, you're going to get 10 points. If you have a family and your wife or your dependent, your husband or your wife, writes an English test and get at least a minimum, she can claim 5 points. And if she does skill assessment in the same field which you have applied, then she can get additional 5 points, making it 10 points, which you can get as maximum from your spouse. Yeah. So another important thing is your work experience must be post-qualification and at least 20 hours in a week, which means if you start working before you graduate, those will not count. Again, if you start working, let's say you started nursing and you start working, probably you worked as a caregiver or you worked in some farm as a farm attendant, it will not count for you. What will count is your work experience as a nurse. That's what will count. And for example, if you are claiming for 8 years experience, that should be 8 years in the last 10 years. Okay, it shouldn't be like too many breaks, so they want it to be within the last 10 years. Yeah, your skill assessments do expire, so you need to check with the body which you applying to. For example, IT and nurses expire within 2 years, Engineers Australia and some other ones expire after 3 years. So you have to check when you got assessed and when you're applying. Okay, yeah. You also need to ensure that all documents are correct. Okay, you will need for you to apply for expression of interest, you will need to check your document carefully before you launch your application on Skill Select. You also need at least 65 points minimum for you to apply. You need to be in good health, and you need to also ensure you are of good character, because you'll be needed to bring character certificate. and you need to substantiate all the claims which you've put in your forms while completing the form. So guys, this is it about how to come to Australia through visa 189, and this is everything you need to know about visa 189, guys. Once you have ITA, then you apply for this visa, and hopefully once it's granted, you can move to Australia with your family or alone if you're a single person. So guys, this is it. If you like this video, why not give me a fat like and share this video to your link, to your friends, so that it will be watched widely. Guys, I really need you to do this for me. This is what I need so that I will be encouraged, and I can also get some, some goodies in return for putting out such a wonderful effort, such a huge effort to ensure that you get information that will help you at the right time. So guys, this is all I have for you. All the best, and I keep praying for you. Cheers.